He probably didn't recognize you at first. What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So Robert gave me a hand last night. We got the motor in. You guys can see it's looking pretty good. So the next step that I'm doing here is I got to get the headers on before I can put the bell housing on. So the bell housing is here. I got it all cleaned up. The clutch is on, torqued. Everything's all good there. So I'm gonna work at the back half first. I'm gonna get the headers in, mount it up. I got a new set of plugs coming, new set of wires coming. I got, what else I got here? I got the tranny. I got some new paint also, so I'll show you guys what I'm up to right now. I actually just scuffed the headers, so you can see here. This is what I started working with here. So I use red, right? Scuff them all up, get all the big stuff off, and then basically I did both sides. You guys can see, and I'll show you what I got on the go here. So this is gonna clean the car up a lot. You guys are gonna see in the end there what this looks like. It's gonna be really nice. So this is what I'm using, DHT. So that's the good stuff. This is what I basically use on all my stuff, and it works great. Just when you do it, you got to do a little heat cycle. So I'm gonna start it, let it run anyways for a couple minutes, make sure I got oil pressure and everything, and then once it gets hot, we'll shut it off, let it cool off, and then we'll do an actual real cycle on the motor. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys what I got on the go for today, and then alright guys, do a quick coat here just to cover first, and we'll lay a nice, once this dries, we'll lay a nice one. Let that tack up for a sec. Check these out, guys. So with about 2 hours of work, those old rusty beat up greasy headers came out nice. So there is a ding in this one, but it's for the steering rack, so it's the only way to fit it. I thought it was broke, but they actually just beat it in enough that there's no hole there. So Chris said it didn't leak anyway, so now I believe him, right? But yeah, these things for $20 can of paint, they came out awesome. So now I'm gonna throw these guys in, throw that bell housing in, and then get this tranny in, guys. Sick. I'm gonna fold in this header. She's looking some good, sitting in there, but the gasket kit that Chris had got is the wrong gasket, so I just had to special order a set. I'm gonna have to call around because they said it could be up to a week, and I don't want to wait a week to have to mount these in. I can still have them sitting there and then put the rest of it together and get everything sitting and then put them in after, but the sooner the better for sure. So this side, you can see them sitting down there, right? So they look good. I do got to pull that steering shaft off, so I just pulled the 2 bolts out of there, one up top, one on the bottom. I'm just going to mark it first before I pull it off so I can put the steering shaft in the exact same spot. Besides that, you can see they took the 2 pieces out, so that's for the power steering. I don't want to have to loop it. I'd like to run it off the pulley like it's supposed to. So got to get that figured out, attended to, the water pump, the pulley, the AC, and get my 2 plugs in, one there, one there. So I'm just getting this bell housing on. So it's just 15 mil, and the guys that had it before, they had a bunch of washers spacing out the longer bolts, so I put the proper bolts back in it. And yeah, I'm just gonna basically torque this down and get it ready to put the tranny in. Amy and I just got back, had to go get some new bolts for the bell housing. So got those. The rest of the bolts are all in. So clutch is good, everything's good there. And basically we're gonna put the cover on and then get the transmission up in here. Jamie's gonna give me a hand, set it on my jack, and we'll go from there. So this thing's looking pretty good. Alright guys, we're just getting this thing up in here. Bell housing's torqued. Make sure when you put it in, you go slow so you don't, because if you knock this sideways, you'll knock this spring off these keys, and that's for your throwout bearing. So when you put this on too, make sure it's not like this, because it won't go on. You gotta be like, put it to the center. James gonna give me a hand while I heat this up. Alright guys, so we got this thing installed, looking pretty good, new seals, new oil on it, and then after it's running I'll have to build an exhaust and a Y pipe to come in somehow, because the drive shaft sits right there, so it's going to be like this. Sick guys, so we got the tranny installed, the cross member installed, everything's tight, engine mounts are tight. While I was underneath it, I realized the steering rack Like I said, I gotta do the 2 front lines out of it, but the rack itself, the 2 bolts that hold it were loose, so somebody had it apart before. So good thing that I noticed that. Besides that, the gaskets, started looking at everything, and this is our problem here, guys. So these are the gaskets that were on it. I don't really want to reuse them because they're all cracked, and right here you can see it actually blew the bottom out. So with these manifolds, you can see they're just barely sealing. So the holes were this small, but the chamber actually come down here, right? So only thing I can do is modify these, or I told Chris to try to find me some, or if I can make some. So I'm waiting for him to get back to me. We can kind of do this last. I can kind of get everything else all ready, and then we'll go from there, because these gaskets normally slide in. But yeah, basically this is what I'm working with. This is what we're trying to get done. So the motor's all, like I said, prime. Spark system's good. I don't want to put plugs in it until I get the headers actually fully mounted. I do have a new oil pressure switch for this, so right there. And the coolant sensor was broke, so I took it out of the other parts car. So yeah, next thing's next. I'll probably finish the back of it. I'll put the torque arm on and the drive shaft. So I got new U-joints for that also. So next time you guys see this will be all new U-joints. And then yeah, we'll get the rear end straightened back out and go from there. So I'm pretty excited to get this thing fired up. I just got to basically pick away at it little by little, and then we'll run the harness last. And I got to get the power steering figured out, and then the AC condenser for this, and we'll go from there. Oh yeah, guys, forgot to tell you. We got these crazy ass nice valve covers that Chris picked up. They showed up the other day. Totally forgot to show you guys. These are some pretty high quality valve covers, so pretty excited to see what this is gonna do. We'll have way more volume too, because those are the stock ones here. You guys can see those sit way higher. So I'm excited to see these. They look super dope in the car here on the motor. Parts are getting thinner. We almost have everything installed. Still waiting on the gaskets before I can put the spark plug wires and the spark plugs in. I have a coolant sensor that needs to go in on this side, and I need one more plug for here, 3/8 plug. Besides that, then I can start putting the power steering, the 2 that are missing there. We'll take that off the other car. I got all the brackets and everything put aside, and then I can start getting the AC unit on, the power steering, the pulley for the belt, the water pump, and then these valve covers, they don't come with a gasket, it's flat, but then where it was welded on the backside, you gotta put a little bit of silicone, so I'll do that and seal those up. But yeah, it's coming along, guys. So I appreciate you guys all watching, and make sure to like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you on the next one.